What's going on, everybody? Josh Pocock here, and in today's video we are going to be looking at the golden rag retriever. You heard that right. This is Verba by Weaviate, and this is a rag retrieval augmented generating open source tool that you can self-host easily. I'm going to show you step by step how to do this, and you can use this with models like GPT-4o, as well as models like Ollama, local models, Llama 3.1, whatever the case may be, Quen, you know, any single open model, Cohere, Google, whatever the case may be. We're going to show you exactly how to do that, and you can upload files, use RAG in a nice, easy to use GUI. Let's dive right into it. All right, guys, so Verba is a tool I came across, and it is a very interesting tool. The team, first of all, like, you know, it's still fairly new. I'm still fairly new to it, but just from, you know, using it a bit and checking it out, the team behind it, you can check out their YouTube channel. They have like a bunch of videos, a bunch of like how-tos, etc. I mean, it's really just the team behind Weaviate, so they're a big company. But this right here, I'll leave a link. All links will be in the description as always, but this is verba.weaviate.io. so this is essentially their hosted cloud version of Verba, right? So you can go ahead and test it out. Like, this is basically trained on the Verba docs. So you can see here, welcome to Weaviate, your AI. I guess it's trained on the Weaviate docs. So your AI native vector database. How can I help you with Weaviate today? So I'm like, how do I self-host Verba? And it basically gives me the stuff here. You can see right here, retrieve 3 chunks in about 0.51 seconds. And then blog, we got this chunk from installation, and this. You can see where it's from, where the context is from. You can even click on see context and see exactly what we're pulling from the RAG. All right, if you're not familiar with retrieval augmented generation, done many videos on it. Just quickly summarize, it's essentially a method that's very efficient to use for LLMs. It's a very cost-effective method, you know, opposed from things like GraphRag or more complex like setups, but something where you can easily query a system, a database, a vector stores, and basically what they use like embedding models. So an embedding model essentially takes chunks of text. So say if I uploaded a large document, it would chunk it into maybe, let's say, like, you know, X amount of chunks of X amount of, you know, with X amount of text in there. And then it would use mathematical equations to essentially store those chunks and those words into like basically numbers, into dimensions. And then when the user queries it, it does that same thing to the query. So it changes the query into those numbers, and then basically it uses mathematical equations such as cosine, similarity, etc. to determine what is the best kind of related chunk to that query, and then it will be pulling those chunks, and then it will get that. Basically allows you to have much more context within asking your queries to LLMs, opposed from just having to, you know, put a whole bunch of context, right? We don't have to upload all of Weaviate's documentations to an LLM and use like 1 million tokens worth of context. We can just input it into a vector store and then query that database, right? So that's just a quick summary of RAG. Now, we've covered tools. If you're on this channel, we've covered tools like RagFlow, and a lot of people were liking this tool, right? I've definitely recommend checking this video out as well. This is a great tool for RAG. You can see a bit of the architecture right here, showing kind of how RAG works as well, chunking, keyword embedding, etc. So kind of just what I explained. Here's RagFlow 2. RagFlow is really good for multiple different like unstructured data type stuff, any sort of format. But Verba is actually really good for all that stuff too. So here's Verba. I'm just going to quickly run through some of the features, and then we're going to install it. I'd recommend, if you're actually you know, really looking to get good at this, check out some of these videos by the team here as well. Anyway, so Golden Retriever. All right, so the Golden Retriever, an open source designed to offer end-to-end streamlined and user-friendly interface for retrieval augmented generation out of the box in just a few easy steps. Explore your data set and extract insights with ease, either locally with Hugging Face and Ollama or through LLM providers such as OpenAI, Cohere, and Google. So there's 3 main ways you can really install it. You can do pip install Golden Verba, right? And there's some other ways we'll get into in just a second. So I'm not going to read this whole thing, but essentially, what is Verba? Fully customizable personal assistant for querying and interacting with your data, either locally or deployed via cloud. Resolve questions with your documents, cross-reference multiple data points, or gather insights from existing knowledge bases. Verba combines state-of-the-art RAG techniques with Weaviate's context-aware database. Choose between different RAG frameworks, data types, chunking, and retrieval techniques, and LLM providers based on your individual use case. And then open source. So features, we got Ollama, Hugging Face, Cohere, Google, OpenAI, embedding support. So support with Ollama, mini embedder, all these other ones right here, different embedders. Data support, so PDF ingestion, GitHub, GitLab, so import files from GitHub and GitLab, CSV, XLS injection, docx injection, multimodal. This is planned, unstructured IO, so you can actually use this right here, unstructured IO. I'll leave a link to this too. I'm not going to get into using this, but this is another tool that you can use. And you would just use that in your environment variables if you were to use that. And then RAG features, so hybrid search, semantic search, autocomplete suggestion, and then a few planned ones is filtering, advanced querying, re-ranking, RAG evaluation, customizable metadata, cool bonuses, Docker support. So this is actually how we're going to install it, just because Docker just makes things easy. I know it can take a lot of computer memory and whatnot running a bunch of containers, but I'm just going to show you that for ease of just installing it. You could also install this on something, for example, like Coolify, right? You could easily just put the either fork it, put your environment variables in, or whatever the case may be, or just do a Docker file, and then whatever, you can just put it on Coolify or whatever, server, whatever you want to use. RAG libraries plans, so Haystack, Llama Index, LangChain. So that's actually really interesting. I'm glad that they're actively planning things and updating it. So install via pip, so you can do pip install Golden Verba, build from source, git clone is another way, so clone it, and then pip install E, and then use Docker for deployment. So if you're not using Docker, ensure you have Python installed in your system. If you're unfamiliar with Python and virtual environments, please provide Python, read Python tutorial guidelines. It's just as to use in a virtual environment. And then API keys, so via here, you're going to want to create an environment variable. Oh, there's an example one. Where's the example? Oh, in the Golden Verba directory. Okay, so I didn't even see that, but okay. So I'll show you that in just a second. And here's all the different variables that you can use. You don't need to use all of them, but we'll get into that in just a second. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. There's some more info here. You can go ahead and check it out. Link for this will be in the description down below. But yeah, let's go ahead and install this. So what we're going to do, just keeping simple, is I just basically git cloned. You could either git clone or download this and then extract the zip. But you could just git clone. Let me just show you as an example what I did. Let's see. So git clone. Okay, so you want to git clone and then HTTPS GitHub/Weaviate/Verba. All right, so make sure you got that. I'm gonna clone, as you can see. Now, if you did put the API keys in, it's going to actually. So first off, what I would do is once you download it, I opened up the folder in VS Code. You could use VS Code, or you could use you could just open the folder, text editor, whatever you really need. So as you can see, this is the environment example. So you would change this. I actually made one. Where is it? I'm not going to click it because it has some API keys in there, but I actually made one right here. It's called .env. So, and I just pasted in my own environment variables, but you can actually just use this example one and just rename it to say .env. So here you would put the URL to your Weaviate cluster and your API key cluster. So I didn't put this just because I'm just running it locally right now, so it's just running off the port. And then your OpenAI API key, boom, you put that in there, your base URL. So yeah, and then Ollama URL. And then so GitHub. So like there's all these other ones. You really don't, the main ones here, I'll tell you which ones I used so you know. This is how I currently set up mine. I'm just removing the API keys and there, boom. So I didn't perfectly set it up, like I only set up a few and I just removed the API keys here. But as you can see, I got my OpenAI. I put a bit, I did Cohere even though I don't even really use it. And then the Ollama, I have Ollama embed model, and then I have Nomic embed text latest, and then my Ollama model is Llama 3.1 latest. And then this is where you would put your unstructured API key if you're using that, and your GitHub token. Anyways, so yeah, we're not really using all that, and I kind of have some filled in that I'm not even using, so obviously it's not a perfect setup right now. But also too, okay, so just quickly too, if you don't know about Ollama, just quickly show you, go to ollama.com, you're going to download it, and then you go to models, and you can really select any model you want. It's very easy to download them. It's loading a bit slow right here, but essentially we just select a model that you want, and then in the top right it will say like Ollama. It'll show you the command, you copy it and run it. Here we go. So say I wanted Llama 3.1. Here we go. Here's how I install it. Once you install a Llama, then you just copy this and run this. Yeah, you can set the what parameter model you want. 8 billion, 70 billion, 405 billion. Obviously, you're going to probably use the 8 billion if you're hosting it locally. And yeah, so once you do that, you can actually do Docker compose up -d. So make sure you're CD'd into the Verba directory, of course, first. So you're going to want to save your environment variables. So you have that, and then Docker compose up. And then you'll see that the pool was complete. You'll see it tells me I'm missing some environment variables. One thing too, actually, you may want to go into your Docker file, your Docker compose here, and if you need to change anything, you could do so here. As you can see, since we're hosting on Docker, it's actually putting the Ollama URL to this, which you want. And then these are the variables. What I did is I changed my port right here because it defaults to 3000. So that's actually being taken right now on one of my Next.js apps. So you can change that if needed. Okay. And then, yeah, you can change around things if needed, but that's the only thing I did, just customizing the Docker compose. I just changed the port. Okay, once you do that, you're actually going to get basically this, right? So this is how it looks. This is the self-hosted version. First off, I want to say it looks pretty cool. I like it. I'm going to go over everything here right now. So first off, settings. So we have chat settings, so we can enable caching, max character count to show documents, enable auto completion, enable help information. Okay, title. So I can actually change, like I could say, try Josh, and I could say Josh subscribe if you're still watching. Yeah, if you're still watching and you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe if you're getting some value here. We upload videos every single day on AI, automation, business growth, etc. And we just recently passed, like 2 days ago, 4,000 subscribers. So thanks for all the new support. Really love seeing all your messages and support and whatnot, helping you guys out. Anyways, so intro message, input message, you can change that. You can add a logo if you want. Right, let's say I wanted to add my company logo. I just grab that right here, boom, and there we have it. I can even change I'm not gonna find like my exact color scheme right now, but I could even like put the right colors. Let's just say I wanted this right here. I could go boom, primary color, company color, secondary color. We'll just do like a little bit of a darker one. And then accent color, sure. Background color, sure. I kind of like, I don't know if it will ruin it. Let's just try that. Oh, there's a bunch. Okay, so you can change the text color. So, wow. Alternative text color, background color, console. So we can make like a dark mode, I think. So anyways, I'm not gonna, so definitely not perfect. Like I said, you could play around with it, make it better, right? But as you can see, it's pretty cool already. Imagine if I was hosting this on Coolify on a custom domain. It looks like it's my own app, right? So anyway, okay, I finally got it back. So anyways, what we can do is that I'm just gonna go over the tabs. So we got settings, which we covered. We got RAG. Okay, so this is where you can select your embedding model, right? I'm using the Ollama one, but you can use Cohere or Ada embedder. All right, as you can see right here. And then select retriever. We're using window retriever, so retrieve relevant chunks, their surrounding context using semantic and keyword search hybrid. And then select generator, so you could use GPT-4o, GPT-3, Command R, or Ollama. We're using Ollama, so right now we're using Llama 3.1, Meta's newest model. Okay, then I'm just gonna save. Next, we can go to documents. So documents, we can basically select a reader, basic reader, GitHub reader, unstructured API. We're using basic. So boom, imports plain PDF, markdown, JSON, and docs files. And then select a label for your documents for filtering. So you could put document or whatever. And then select a chunker. So token chunker, chunks documents by word tokens. Choose between chunk size and their overlaps. You can choose chunks right here and your overlaps. And then embedder. So yeah, same thing, right? So you can add a file here. I actually added one already. As you can see, I just added a VS Code. Basically just a document that gives like some VS Code extensions and best practices or whatnot. Now if I go to chat, you can see here we're using our Ollama embedder. Here, reset conversation. So this is the welcome message, which we could have changed in settings. And let me just say, give me a step-by-step in-depth VS Code best practices and set up with extensions and tools from A to Z. A to Z. There we go. You can see we're using the Ollama embedder. And boom, retrieving chunks. So we got 4 chunks retrieved in 2.63 seconds. All right, all from the same document. We could go ahead and see context if we want. See all the different chunks. Boom. Let me just cancel that. You can see here the document, what it's pulling. Now it's a little bit slow. It's running locally, but we can see based on the provided context, I'll guide you through a comprehensive step-by-step process for setting up Visual Studio Code with best practices and popular extensions. Please note that some steps might require additional documentation or resources, which I'll mention when necessary. So first step, install VS Code, set up a repositories folder. It's a little bit slow, guys, but all right, so we can see you can divide into personal repositories, work repositories for better organization, make directories. So give us some code here. Open a new folder in VS Code, showing us the shortcut code dot. Yeah, so I'm not gonna read through the whole thing, but you can see here gave us some extensions, GitLens, Prettier, ESLint, and yeah, you know, it's still going. It's a little bit slower, but you can copy it here. And all in all, it's pretty cool. It's pretty useful. You can see that we still have our logo, our branding, and I mean, I guess that you can't, I don't think you can remove this thing right here, built with Weaviate. So I guess you couldn't fully like white label or customize it. But other than that, it's pretty, I mean, I guess you could probably just check the source code and if you wanted to. But other than that, guys, it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to see if, you know, if they say they have a bunch of stuff coming, a bunch of stuff planned in the works. So once those updates roll out, I'll be interested to continue testing it out. But this is a no code, well, very little code. You don't really have to do anything. It's a easy to use GUI interface for your RAG system. So maybe wondering, if you watched my other video on RagFlow, which one do I prefer? Well, I think out of box, just from seeing it, I say like I think RagFlow is pretty robust, and it has, I almost think it has a little bit more features and a little bit more capabilities, and you know, it has that nice user flow with agents and everything, where you can like design it and stuff. It's not perfect, still it's not perfect, but this is pretty cool too. I like how it has this I like this user interface. I like how you can see like the overview. You can see your variables right here, so you can add different variables. You can see libraries, admin console, and then you can add documents using different things, different setups. So, and then you can chat with it. So, and then yeah, the white label and things that are kind of coming in the future. And also too, I like how the team has a bunch of videos on this. Obviously it's made by Weaviate, which has other products, but yeah, I think it's definitely something to look out for, and you can use it. And let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any questions or issues installing it, or whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are about this tool. If you have any tools you want me to do a video on, or any videos in general, marketing, business, AI, etc., let me know in the comments down below, guys. Like I said, we just surpassed 4,000 subscribers, so thanks for that. If you're new here, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you got some value here, just stay up to date with the daily uploads. Also too, if you haven't already joined our free community, stridecommunity.com, our free Facebook group, free Discord channel, link for that will be in the description down below, along with all the resources I went over in this video. Other than that, guys, also too, if you haven't checked out my book, Client Acquisition Code, link for that will be in the description. But I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.